All right, so this is RGT Cycling, and it is similar to Zwift, but their basic version is free. And they currently have a Tour de France challenge going on called Viva la France. And it's a race every day, about 1 to 2 hours worth of racing every day. And just like Zwift, it starts pretty frenetically. People try to get to the front to get with a breakaway right away. And the thing that's different about it is that there's more of a what you might call collision avoidance. So you can't ride through other people, or at least not as easily as you can in Zwift. And so what ends up happening is you oftentimes get blocked by people, or it forces you around people. So you'll see a lot of echelon formations happen, and you can lose the group draft, the pack draft, pretty easily. So it has a very different feel to it, but the drafting effect is a lot bigger. And it really depends on where you are. In Zwift, you can really kind of be anywhere, left or right of another person. It doesn't matter. On the server side, you might actually appear on a different side on your screen than somebody else might see. It has to do with the distance behind that person you are more. Whereas in RGT, if you're directly behind someone, you're going to get an extra 100 watts or more of draft. If you're off to the side, you get less. So oftentimes people get stuck on the side because you actually have to ease up on the pedals more to force your avatar to get directly behind someone. So because of that, it has a very different feel to it. It's still kind of like Zwift. It's a game. You have to kind of learn how to deal with it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm starting here about 5 lines back. And we'll just see how things go. So I'm going to pick up my pace here. Really big, 300 plus watts. Get things going. I'm going to try to pay attention to other riders and see if there's anyone I can get behind to enjoy that draft. And you'll see, because I put in a big effort, I got pushed right to the front. The other unique thing is the turns. You'll notice my power number goes red anytime we hit a sharp turn, or if I collide with another rider, and it actually takes watts away. So it's much more realistic compared to Zwift in that sense. You still go through people, but not as easily. And you'll see this wave effect. And if I get dropped too far, if you lose a bike length or more, you're pretty much done for. So you have to be careful. You don't need to be right at the front. You definitely do not want to float around the back. It's a lot harder compared to Zwift to get back in on that draft. And the other thing you'll notice is in the pack here, if I collide with another rider too much, my power number will sometimes go red, and I'll be shot right out the back if I'm in that too long. So if you get too close to someone, you're right behind someone right here, perfect. Go easy on the pedals. Try to stay directly behind them. If you're off to the side, you got to be careful, because I'm off to the right, and the pack in the front's on the left. So if they start picking up the pace, I could easily get dropped. So I want to put in an effort, try to move back to the front, at least stay within a bike length of the back of that group. You'll see when I accelerate, it forces me around rather than through. So this is dangerous. I don't want to be caught out on the right. You see the whole pack keep going through me. People are blocking me. It's hard to get back in. So my choices are either go hard, try to move up, or go easy and try to get in the back. Once I'm in the draft, though, I want to try to take advantage of it. So if I can align myself directly behind someone, I'm really going to ease up. Go from 250, 300 watts to 100 to 150, if I can. It's still good to float near the front. Stay with the top 5-10 riders if you can, because you don't want them to take off. Like right now, you see that split just happened. A bunch of riders on the left started picking up the pace, caused a split. So I got to put in a little surge. You'll see how fast it picks up. It's very easy to get dropped now if we got a bunch of people who get that breakaway to happen. But it's hard. It's hard to break away, especially when you have this rubber band causing people to zoom up to the front. And that happens because the drafting benefit is so big. You get into the pack and you keep pedaling at the same effort level while you get that draft benefit. You really slingshot past everyone. So as soon as you start drafting, you actually want to ease up on the pedals. Don't find yourself, like I am right now, getting pushed to the outside, because that's where I'm more likely to get gapped with the pack, and it'll be harder to get back up. So you really want to try to stay within 1 to 2 bike lengths of the other riders. So while it's hard to do, I definitely found if you can stay near the front, so as soon as somebody else gets in front of you, you don't have to surge, but just try to get in their draft. Make them do the work. Just make sure that person themselves is not dropping back as well. And that way, as soon as a breakaway happens, it's a lot easier to get up there. If someone really goes for it, best thing I've found is don't try to chase the break, try to chase the person that's chasing the break. So if one person goes, if you see somebody else go after them, immediately get on their wheel. You can stay in their draft, you can save 100 watts or more, maybe even 200 watts. And when they begin to fade, you can work with them, trying to stay close together to bridge back up. So the place I hate being is on the outside. It happens a lot. You see those echelons will happen because everyone's pushing hard and no one's going easy. If more people going easy, you get more peloton forming. But it's just hard. The physics, while it is a little more realistic, it's hard to really get used to it because everything is still, a second or two delayed. So you tend to end up going too hard for too long when you want to bridge back up. And then when you realize it, you ease up too much, then you drop back. So the accordion effect is there. But I found more riders are getting used to it further along this Tour de France challenge. Viva de France has been going on. And it also tends to happen a lot more, obviously, when you're going point to point downhill, like we have been. Speeds are higher. It's easier for that pack to come right back. But now we begin to go uphill. And you'll notice right away, things change real quick. Drafting benefit goes away. Now it's more individual. And this is where you really, if you can, the gradient is below, say around 5%. Best place to be is not to someone's shoulder, but directly behind them. So you might have to play around with easing up on the pedals at just the right time to get your avatar to line up directly behind someone. It'll be interesting if RGT ever implements steering using the Elite's Sturzo front wheel trainer block, which you can turn with in Zwift. So here you see on the uphills, it's a lot easier for gaps to form. Breakaways to happen. The neat thing is though, look on the upper left, under my power number, in green, it's showing me how many watts I'm saving. So you can see how much that draft is helping you or not. So even on a 2 to 3% grade, I can still get a nice savings. But if I'm on someone's shoulder, it's a lot less than if I get directly behind this person. You'll notice I'm saving about 50 watts versus on the side about 25, 30. So here I have a choice, stay with this guy or try to bridge up. I really got to dig deep. Bridge up to this group. And then to stay with them, you got to find a way to get not on the shoulder, but directly behind someone. So I actually want to try to figure out if I can get behind this person without getting pushed too far. See, he's getting gapped. Makes it harder for me. I'm going to move up. And then wait for an opportunity to get behind someone who's near the front of the pack. It's hard to gauge your power. It's that slight lag. This is a long climb, so as it ticks up, I'm likely going to get dropped. Not as strong as most of these other riders. Here you notice I keep getting pushed to the outside, even though I want to try to get behind the middle. So I have to play around with risking going easy and getting dropped off the back, or going too hard and getting pushed to the outside. So I'm definitely working more than if I was in Zwift, probably. Until I can find that sweet spot. Now when I do, I'll be careful not to go too hard and get shot out the side or the back or the front. And get in that perfect spot directly behind someone. You see my watt saved goes way up. So as soon as that happens, I really have to do a concerted effort to ease up more than I'm used to stay directly behind them. Otherwise, I'll get pushed off to the side. My avatar will try to go around them. So if you get good, you can save a lot more power, but you definitely have to pay attention more compared to something like Zwift. So of course, as soon as I get a good spot, someone tries to break away. And now you'll see if I get gapped, I'll get dropped very quick. On the upper right, I can see the course profile. So you see the uphill is going to end soon, turn into a downhill. So speeds will pick up. See people trying to break away already. I can stay with them on that downhill in a good spot. Here on the downhill, don't want to go too hard. I just want to be careful not to get gapped, which with sharp turns is tough. So turn up here, so my power goes red, means my avatar is braking. Usually that braking, just like in real life, like it's trying to teach you, the braking always starts right before the turn But as soon as you're halfway through the turn, it goes away, because that's really typically the point after which you want to start building your speed back up. So see the sharp turn here, go red, but halfway through, turns white again, and that power applies. So you don't want to completely ease up going into the turns, but probably don't want to sprint right as you go into braking either. So you just want to gauge your effort to apply it at the right times. This is where I might get dropped. Pace is picking up on an uphill. I weigh more than a lot of these guys, I believe. So they have the advantage on the uphill, or at least most of them. See how everyone's in a line, because everyone's pedaling hard. Nobody's going easy enough to draft. It's hard when you get blocked from the side. As soon as I get directly behind someone, I'm going to really ease up, try to benefit from that draft. Have to be careful not to go too hard either, or too easy. If I get shut off to the right, my gap forms, all of a sudden I got to put in a hard effort. So sometimes it's not your fault, but the rider next to you or ahead of you is not going to be paying attention, and you end up paying for it. So try to stay near the front, in the middle if you can, or at least directly behind a strong rider who you know pedals consistently. Like Deca here, I think he's one of the riders in the lead the whole competition. I think he probably knows how to ride smart. Usually I found if you half wheel someone, meaning your avatar just gets slightly ahead of them, they're on your side, your avatar will take priority on the position to get behind someone. So here I just want to get to the front. Now I'm off to the side. It's easy to get gapped. You have to pay attention to the riders. They're pushing me out. I'm going to try to ease up, get in the middle, or directly behind someone. Then it's a lot easier to build that momentum, get back to the front. Okay, I gotta be careful. Push to the outside. Easily get dropped. It's kind of like being in a peloton. People fighting for position. Sometimes you just get unlucky. Or you don't pay attention for a split second. So to get into this type of spot, what I found is you really want to go easy, easy, easy. Easier than you anticipate. So you can go hard to move up, but as soon as you do, you're directly behind someone. Try to ease up and stay with them without accelerating or decelerating. So just like real life, you get in someone's draft, you can ease up quite a bit. It takes some getting used to. You're used to Zwift. Here I put in a big hard effort and went a lot further up than I wanted to. Pushed out to the side. So I want to try to get back in the middle. Don't go too hard. Launch myself up. Not too easy to get dropped. So you can see how easily I go from a great spot behind someone to getting pushed to the outside, having to surge. So it keeps things very chaotic unless you're on like a nice gradual grade uphill with someone of around the same fitness. That's a lot easier to stay on someone's wheel. There's only a couple people around. As soon as you have, usually say about 5 people, 4 or 5, that's when the jockeying for position ends up getting a little stochastic, a little unpredictable. It's easy to get spit out. So this thing is find another rider who's consistent, stay on their wheel, try to make sure nobody else half wheels you, make sure you don't push too hard. Usually pushing too hard is what pushes you to the outside, because your avatar will want to get around the person in front of you. But if you ease up, you stay right behind them, your avatar will move in, It's really dependent upon people around you, much more so than Zwift, where you can float through people. All right, this is where it breaks up. People are trying to break away. Starts going uphill. I wasn't paying attention to the corner. See, as soon as you too fast on somebody, especially in an uphill, you go directly into them. It's like a collision. The rider starts braking. You usually end up getting spit out the back. You lose so much power. You have to be careful when you move up. Either put in enough power to go around them, or ease up enough to stay in their grasp. Be careful not to get pushed so far back. The person in front of you accelerates and drops you. You got to work twice as hard to get back in it. Especially when you push hard, you end up in someone's back and you lose all that power you just put in. So this is where it gets tough. How easily I got sped out to the side. Now to get around, either have to surge or ease up. I'm not paying attention. Gap forms. Definitely different type of racing. If we don't want to get strung out, on the outside of the echelon, and always have a couple people behind you. That way they can pull you up if something happens. Less than 2 miles is where fireworks will start. There's Becca. I don't want to be on the outside here. As soon as the kick goes, I'll get dropped. Mile to go. Getting ready. Got 1K to go. Banner up ahead. We'll really ramp up. We'll get ready to sprint. Will you want to be ready? Jump on someone's wheel. There you go. You don't want to be the person to sprint. You want to try to lure them out. As soon as someone goes, grab on their wheel. Best you can. Turns are screwing with the sprint. There they go. Gotta wait 100 meters and go. Oh. Geez, that's too early. That's an RGT race. Oh, definitely need to spin it out. Oh, catch my breath. So, RGT, you have to make sure on your phone, the phone app is different from the RGT screen app. You need to have both running at all times. The phone app, you can leave in the background. If you want to multitask, you still can. Once you're done with the ride, the screen app won't, the server won't save your ride. You hit the stop button on the app. It'll prompt you to end your ride and upload it. And you'll get the summary page. And the phone app, you can see your results if you did a race. The downside of RGT is it doesn't automatically give you an option to cool down and record your data. So if you want to record your cool down, go back in, take a workout or the course to ride. They don't have that many events, so there's usually not another event that you can just join in. Instead, you can go to the workouts there. If you have something loaded in from Training Peaks, you can just load that. Or they have some standard recovery workouts you can do. And while the screen app has crashed a few times, I've been using Apple TV. Maybe once every 10 rides, usually with a big ride. Your internet connection is not very reliable. It can very easily spin you out. Or spit you out. Of course, I pick a super steep hill to do my recovery. You can turn your avatar around. Downhill. Just going to end the ride. All right, that's it. So RGT, great app. It's free. They have a premium account. Your own courses, and you just email them a file, and they'll make, they call a Magic Road version of it, a 3D version of it, of any course in the world, which is awesome. And you can get your workouts synced Training Peaks. So if you're just looking for an app, your workouts on, this is a great option. Still, I would say, in rapid development. It looks super slick. Physics are neat. Braking and the cornering is more unique than other platforms. And they're going to start doing the USA Cycling races. A lot of the big major national level stage races are going to be on RGT through the winter this year. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops. If they change their drafting algorithms at all for large packs. Could potentially see that change a little bit, hopefully for the better. It's not realistic, I would say, to have riders constantly be put into an echelon formation. So that doesn't feel as natural as what you would see happening out on the road. And I think that's what makes it hard to stay in a large pack. Why you see a lot of that rubber banding happening. So Zwift has that sticky draft, which feels a little bit more natural. But then obviously the cornering and the jockeying for position in Zwift is not like outdoor riding, whereas RGT is much more like that. So pros and cons. But from a coaching perspective, either one's great for doing workouts. There's different features to each. But you can't beat free at the end of the day. At least for now, it's still free. So if you need a good app, this is a great option. All right, thanks, gang.